What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of LVT, and welcome back to the channel, Season 48, War number 6. And actually, to be honest, I was very excited about this war going up against SGA. They're a very good alliance. There's a bunch of guys I know over there that I respect very well. And I was excited about this one because I had a 6-fight war. And more importantly, I had redemption against the CGR that I died to last war. So in this one here, I ended up doing the strategy that I wanted to, was the parry, the parry heavy, and then the parry neutralize, and then knock off the throw the SP2 and get him down. So that way I didn't run into the thing to get in trouble. I made sure that I kept my prowess up and I kept my resist up so I could block those SP2s or SP1s there. So with this particular fight, I was very, very happy with the way it went down and a good redemption from last war. But the other reason why I was happy in this particular war moving forward was that I ended up ascending my Nick Fury for the first time. So I took him up from R3 to take this fight, where it makes it a little more challenging, but because after the heavy Fury purifies kind of all the debuffs on him, anytime something come up, the strategy was basically to parry heavy and not to do anymore. So if I didn't have anything up, I was also kind of keeping track of the counter, but to also spam the SP1 to get the kind of disorient up on him and to prevent potentially having some debuffs on me. But the idea is parry heavy, and with the extra life that Nick Fury has, it's a very, very safe fight. So I was happy to rank him up for not only this, but for Battlegrounds and a couple other metas, even though I don't really use them that often, but I will be using them kind of twice in this war. The other reason I was happy too is that I got to take 2 fights that I haven't taken that are probably 2 of the hardest fights on the map, or I mean debatable, where I deal with a Serpent and a Gore. But before that, we're going into this Hulk, where I am happy that I had Nick Fury for this one. And the reason for that is that for whatever reason, I end up taking a hit from his SP1 while he is basically in the frenzy mode, or I guess it's not called the frenzy mode, what's it called? It's the in the gamma rage mode. And when that happens, like there, I ended up taking that. He ends up stunning me for a very, very long time. And if it wasn't an Ascended R5, or call it R6 Fury, he would have been into the second life and put myself in an awkward situation for what is about to come up, where for some reason, I don't know, I missed a parry or missed a hit or didn't move out of the way, where I'm now taking an SP3 to the face. So this has been a very, very, very sloppy fight, and I haven't shown this one to anyone in the Alliance as of yet, but they'll see it kind of after this point, because I came out of the fight full health. Well, full health in my second health, so it didn't look as bad. But no, that was just very unfortunate and a little sloppy, but happy to pack that up. So with this one here, Serpent took me a little bit of time. My strategy in here was, again, to parry heavy, to knock down the protection, and then go and kind of spam, keep the neutralize up. The neutralize up is the most important thing, because every 6 seconds or whatever he gains, buffs and power-ups and this and that. And the idea was to kind of spam the specials where possible and push him if I needed to either bait the SP1 and go through, or to push him to the SP3, knowing that I had kind of the invulnerability boost on me. So this fight was going perfect. Was going absolutely perfect. And the thing that really frustrated me with this particular war, or this particular fight, was that I did die here, and you're gonna see why. Like, at this point, you'd think, okay, I've got some prowess up. Yeah, he does have the indestructible up, so I couldn't kind of get the prowess up at this point. But it just came to a point where the fight was in complete control. Like, I'm now able to get some more prowess on. Throws the SP3, I still have an invul boost on because I haven't taken any hits, and I'm in a very, very good spot to take him out. So I throw the SP1, I get to knock him down, remove, neutralize a bunch of his stuff, and then I get to this point coming up where I did not have a resist on me, and I thought I did, because he comes in very, very shortly here when he's Snowpath, and I didn't dex out of that first hit from the SP1, and I died, which was very unfortunate. It's one of the hardest fights on the map. I'd never taken Serpent before in war. I thought everything was going very, very smoothly, And then one kind of subtle mistake at the end cost me the solo on that particular fight. So I was a little disappointed about that, which is fine. I didn't kind of beat myself up over it because I know how hard the fight was. I know I prepped for it. I know I did kind of everything I could in to basically prepare for it with duels and whatnot. And it's just the final execution was great. Like there, for example, I had the resist up. He threw the same thing. I didn't dex out of the way of the SP1, and he still went down after it. So anyway, the cleanup went really well. The initial fight went well, and I was happy with that. So now we're heading into this gore fight where, again, after watching a bunch of videos and seeing how it is, it should have been a piece of cake, in the sense that once you get the protection down, you essentially, and the neutralize up, you essentially let the incinerates kill him. But one of the things you have to pay attention to is you have one eye open, so right now it's hard to keep parries up, or to keep, the prowess up. I did get 3 bleeds on me immediately to start, which is not good, and now he's got 2 indestructible charges up, and I'm in a bad spot because I don't have the neutralize up, and I can't, or couldn't necessarily parry, so I finally got the neutralize back up. He is throwing the specials, but it's not doing any damage anymore because my timing is slightly off when I'm going to try to hit the block, and I accidentally push him to the SP2. And when you push him to the SP2 after already having taken some hits, I get some shocks on me and then just end up killing me there. So what ended up being a very frustrating fight where I couldn't, because the neutralizer was up and the incinerates were there, I couldn't parry because of one-eyed open. I take the damage back to me. I was starting to get cornered, and instead of being able to deal with it and hit into his block, he was being very, very aggressive, and it didn't work out. So in this next fight, when we go for the cleanup, I got lucky with the RNG in the sense that I was able to parry twice. I only got 1 bleed on me, so I was able to get the 2 prowess, get the neutralize up, parry again, and then get the heavy off, which knocks down the protection there. There I accidentally forgot that about one eye open. I figured that out after, but I still have 2 prowess that are kind of available, and the idea was to spam the specials to knock him down, to let the incinerates do the damage and kind of back out of the way, hit into the block to keep the prowess up, and just like that, the fight, as it should have been the first time, went down relatively easy. So it's a tricky fight. Again, you can get caught really badly. He does gain power really quickly. There's a lot of buffs and you don't get the proper neutralize up. You don't want him hitting into your block because the bleeds come up. And anyway, there's just a lot to pay attention to and can be very sloppy. So now I've got this Arcus on node number 46. I've taken him now a couple times. So my game plan for him is typically parry heavy, which knocks off the power gain that he has, like consumes it, and then parry heavy, back out to get the resist up. So as you saw there, I deflected the SP2 that he shot, the unblockable one that I was able to block, and then I get the neutralize up after to be able to either get the incinerates and then the plasmas to then throw the, well, here I did the striker to the SP2 combo, and I believe that ended up killing him before he got to another SP3. So overall, very happy with the way that fight goes. With Arcus, I've kind of got it down to a science in terms of how to doing it, but the other 2 fights I'd love to have back. The good news is, though, with all that, is that we did end up beating SGA 20-10. So at one point, the war was very, very close. Like, it was 9-9, 10-9, or whatever, 8-7, 9-7, 9-8. And then at some point, it kind of just got out of hand, unfortunately, for them. Very happy with us. We ended up getting the win, so that puts us to 6-0 on the season. Unfortunately, I died twice this war. I'm less upset about that because of the difficulty of the fights, and it was a good learning lesson to how to deal with them properly for next time if I have to face them. But so that brings me to 25 fights on the season with 3 deaths. So again, more importantly, 6-0, and thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.